still standing up?
Yeah, there's been a couple of injuries. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. It's rugby league. But, yeah, there's a couple of boys, busted and hurt a bit at the moment. But, yeah, I mean, Ciro's been talking to us about resilience, and that's one of our sort of kind of cornerstones is, like, having grit and, learning a lot of the club's history about, like, what it's, timber cutters and that, where sort of Belmore came from. He's put a lot into, like, how we want to be, representing the club, and probably ties in well. So obviously it's not ideal. We'd love to have some of the blokes that are out. We'd love to have them out there. But yeah, it is what it is, and next man up, I guess.
You've been with the responsibility in the middle, mate, because unfortunately it's been a lot of front rowers.
Yeah, there's been a lot of ruckies. You know what, like, you'd rather have your A team out there and you sort of first men picked, but the people that have been stepping up, I've had a lot of confidence in, and I think something for myself in being in this position, I think it's a lot of responsibility, I guess, but it's something that I sort of relish and I want to appreciate, because that's what I want to be. Everyone wants to be, someone that your team relies upon, and if I have a bad performance, I want it to reflect. I want it to because when I need to go well for the team to go well. You want to be in those positions. So I feel like, responsibility is always. I think there's a privilege in responsibility, and I think naturally, with rookies going down, there's a privilege in that to have that responsibility to have to lift and carry the team in that sense. But I think it is what it is. Injuries happen, and as I said, next man up, and I'm sure they'll give it with their best effort.
Yeah, and you did get Tavita back on the weekend. He played some big minutes. What was it like having a guy who can have real impact in the middle out there?
Yeah, it went well. Obviously, T was doing the things he's known for, big hits, offloading. I know early in the game we were under the pump a lot, goal line attack, and I was looking at him and he looked sweet, lungs-wise and that, so he's really taking care of himself. You see photos of him last year, he's like, you're like, holy heck, you're carrying weight. So he looked after himself a lot, credit to him, and like I said, injuries happen, and that's all we ask that the injured boys do is look after themselves and be ready. And Tavita's done a great job of that, and he brought what he naturally brings of X factor and big hits, and I thought he was great, great addition, and credit to him. He's really looked after himself to come back. I feel he's probably done a lot behind the scenes of what I've seen, but I felt like last week was his first week back to training, and he just slots in and makes a big impact like that. So it was great.
What about his role in the pack? Because people say, is he an edge? Is he middle? Played really well up front. What do you reckon? Is he a long term?
Yeah, I think Ciro would probably see him as a middle. We'll claim him as a middle. Usually once you go in, you don't go back. He can stay in the middle. Hopefully, I think he brings great aggression, and us ruckies appreciate him being in there. So I think he can stay there.
From the way you're talking, it sounds like you like to be a leader.
I mean, for sure. Like I've always, no one grows up, wanting to play NRL and wants to be the sort of mediocre guy that plays, 20 games and retires. Everyone wants to be that guy, and like I said, there's a lot of, in terms of responsibility and having that leadership on. Everyone wants to be that guy, and it's a privilege to have that. So that's one thing I aspire to have, and the more that sort of I want to develop myself into a player that that platform can grow, and the team really relies upon me. And I think the situation we have at the moment, it sort of calls for that. The situation we have is I need to step up and lead, with the injuries and that. So I think naturally, just the way it's gone this year, it's probably been a bit like that. But there's things in my game that I can improve on, and I think they go a long way for the team improvement.
Thank you.
Good on you. Thanks, guys.